It has been a year. It has been a year. To be totally candid, haven't felt like being online, keeping up with booktube, filming myself, putting any actual effort into this channel, which is unfortunate, and I feel behind. And I hope this is a way to ease myself back in. We're gonna be doing like 2022 reflection video today, some of it bookish, some of it not. I have really been enjoying Allison Paige's channel lately. I feel like she is a supreme editor and her videos bring me a lot of comfort, and she just did a 2022 wrap-up video. She's been on YouTube for a long time, and maybe this is something I can look back on in the future. Who knows? Maybe it's a one-off. I also got a new notebook because every year I feel like I have to buy a new notebook. The idea that it's going to completely change my life and I'm going to suddenly become a new person all because I bought a new notebook, right? Anyone else share that delusion? We're gonna do the 2022 wrap up, and I also hit 5K on YouTube, which is exciting and a milestone, and I am gonna answer some questions afterwards. 2022 was a big year. We moved to Arizona, my hometown in Arizona, after living in Portland for the last 10 years. It truly upended our life in ways I don't think I was prepared for until I was experiencing it. Over the last 5 years, we put a lot of energy into remodeling and renovating our Portland house and making it a space where we felt loved and cared for and grounded for every day. And moving into a house and living in it while doing some major renovations and having to be patient with not only subcontractors, but the time and budget that we gave ourselves to do the parts of the remodel that we were DIYing has been really challenging. It has taken more of a toll on me than I anticipated, and we are both so looking forward to knocking off some larger projects and feeling more settled. It's not even the cosmeticness of the space. Definitely an ugly house, honestly, internally right now. I think it has a lot of potential, but it's not somewhere that I feel energizes me or I like being in aesthetically every day. It's more so the complete lack of storage and living among boxes and boxes of our things and our building materials and our sunny stuff. There isn't a single space in the house that feels put together yet, and I think we're really close to doing that and having a lot of usable, awesome storage, and I think it's going to be a game changer for our brains and for our daily lives because we both work from home, so we're here all the damn time. Always. We're always at home. If you're from the United States, I think also there's been a huge societal shift from living in the Portland coffee indie bitch bubble to moving back to Yuma. I was prepared for that too because I come here frequently to visit my family, but it has felt like something that I don't know if I have words for yet. Yuma has come a long way, I think, since I was a teenager here. There's been some like really intentional carved out spaces from other local community members who are doing really cool things. But also there is a shit ton of blatantly racist and sexist and deranged messaging everywhere you look here. It's like the capita of weirdo QAnon Trump people. Our neighbors have a Let's Go Brandon flag right next to us, and I think psychologically there is something about being in that stew with all of these people, right? I wouldn't say it is a bad thing. I would say it is just a different thing. And I think there is also a larger margin for me to affect or kind of spread myself onto those other people as much as they are coming into my space, right? So without being too hyper political, yeah, move to a very red bubble of the country. It's not all doom and gloom. I've also gotten a lot closer to my family. I see my mom all the time now. I've never lived next to my parents as an adult. My dad usually had visited me in the winter in Portland pretty frequently, but yeah, I mean, I was able to go to my mom's house today and pick up some packages and like raid her fridge. What a joyous, mundane little event to happen to me, right? It's kind of those little small micro moments that I think are going to have a larger impact on what it feels like to be here and what it means to be closer to family, which is kind of the heart and soul of this move, was make it a habitable space for my dad so we can finally retire, and be closer to my existing family here and try to dream up some new things. And then I think like the biggest 2022 reflection is really fully realizing Sunny's. Our first pop-up was in April and it's now December, and it is a profitable, barely profitable, fully thriving business. And I can't believe how much work it is. It is genuinely a full-time, part-time other job. I probably spend like 20 to 30 hours a week in addition to my 40-hour-a-week job on top of Sunny's stuff. But it is so rewarding, and I feel really close to digging into my purpose and finding out what that is, and living more in that in a fully realized way when it comes to things that make me money, right? Because we have to live. It's also just been so cool to be supported by a community and just be in communion with people about books. Books have always been my special thing, and I can't express how much gratitude I have for the support thus far, the interest from people, the kind words. It means a lot. To be candid, I also had a killer, not in a good way though, maybe a bad depression year. I switched my medication about halfway through the year, and that has really helped me, but finding tools and balance and structure and living with a major depressive disorder is really hard, and empathy and love to everyone doing it. I get so frustrated with myself, and I know this isn't gonna make sense, but I feel like I'm so frustrated, and I feel like I want so desperately to be freed of this sometimes, and I think I need to. My camera died, but I was talking about being depressed, and I think my synthesis is, it feels really embarrassing to be depressed still sometimes, even though I know that I shouldn't, and I'm proud of myself for being alive, and I hope I have ease and joy in 2023. That's my 2022 in review. It was a big year. It was a very plant the seeds year. Some things were growing, but the home life, the work life stuff, we're planting seeds, right? We're trying to get more settled. Looking into 2023, I love setting intentions, goals. I usually get really serious about them around my birthday, and I'm turning 30 in March, which feels like a lot. If I'm being honest, it feels like a lot. It feels real. I feel like a big time grown up at 30 years old. My mom had me when she was 30. It just feels like a milestone. Feels like a milestone. I would love some semblance of a routine, like I mentioned previously. I am a pretty obsessive person by nature, and I get really into things for short periods of time, but I find it hard to sustain routine behavior. And I know it makes all the difference for tiny puny brains like mine. And I can't wait until I carve those new neural pathways in 2023 and I can stick to something for once in my life. I'm talking little things like no phone scrolling, moving my stupid body in some kind of fashion, maybe even going for daily walks with my dog. I don't know. I'm not putting anything too measurable around it or else I'll get freaked out, but I want to do something consistently that is not monetized and is just for my body. That would be great. Huge 2023 goal is finding a retail space for Sunny's. I was very close to this last month and it slipped away out of my hands. There's a specific area in Yuma where I want to open a tiny retail store for Sunny's, and vacancies don't come up very often, but I got in contact with the person who owns them finally and told him about our mission and what I envisioned for the space, and he's like, sounds sick, don't have anything for you right now, but I'll let you know when I do. Renting retail space is incredibly affordable in Yuma. It is one of the absolute biggest perks of moving back to your tiny hometown I can give you. I can more than afford a monthly rental space with the web store earnings. I have not figured out scheduling wise how I'm going to run that and also work a job, but we'll get there when we get there, right? My dad's gonna move back. I'll put him in the store. I'll put Kiki in the store. It's gonna be a family business. We're all gonna do shifts. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be great. The Sunny store, I hope to stock more new books. I hope to host community events, maybe readings, maybe music shows, maybe spoken word stuff. I don't know, whatever the youth are getting into right now. And I hope it is a space where people can thrive and discover things in Yuma's only independent bookstore. Everyone give me your good wishes for 2023 Sunny store. I also want to learn how to drive stick because Sunny is a stick and I don't know how. What a new camera for Christmas. I don't know if you guys know this, but I went to art school and I have not been focusing on making any kind of photographic art for maybe the last like 3 or 4 years. And I feel like I'm coming out of retirement. I feel the itch. I feel the urge to take pictures. What a homecoming. What a blessing. So I'm gonna follow that instinct. My new toy is coming in the mail, aka my camera. And we're gonna see what I get up to. I'm not gonna put anything measurable on it, but I hope to pick up a camera again and see where that leads me. And then I would just want more ease and more joy. More joy. 2023, that's my motto. That's it for the reflections. I hope you guys had an okay year. I hope the next one is cooler for us all. And I think we're gonna get into 5K Q&A time now. I asked for people to send me questions on the Sunny's Instagram, my personal Instagram, and YouTube. So we're gonna see what came in. Okay, what is your favorite piece of Sunny's merch? Why is that so hard for me to answer? I love the Litfic hat. It's like the classic OG to me. I'm really excited about a new piece of merch that hasn't been revealed yet, which I think is my all-time favorite. But I also really love the pullover. And I really like the More Reading shirt. I wear that all the time, the black one. And I love the socks, which are also being restocked. What book has changed your perspective of the world or how you move through it? The first one that comes to mind is Vanishing Twins by Leah Dietrich. I think that is the book that really cemented my quiet voice in my head that was saying, you're queer, for my whole life. And I was like, oh yeah, I am. And it gave me language and a new perspective to kind of see myself through. It's kind of about marriage and polyamory, and I'm not polyamorous, but I still took some really good nuggets away that kind of resonated with my queer identity. What are your feelings on poetry? I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love it. The only poem I like is Having a Coke with You by Frank O'Hara. I think he's cute. What do you do for work? Do you code in your job? I've always been curious. I am a program manager at a creative agency and we mainly make art for video games. I do not code. And we do not make video games. We make art for video games. So a lot of the marketing materials that are needed for when games are released, like trailer edits and the literal packaging art for when you go to GameStop and you see all the wall of video games and it's like the cover of the packaging, that's what we make. We have a in-house team of illustrators and artists and graphic designers, and we also work with like a wide bench of freelancers, and we interface with our client and the dev studio and make art. It's fun. There are worse agency jobs, that's for sure. We do a lot of work for The Sims. They're my main client. Xbox, Riot Forge, Electronic Arts at Large, Choice Provisions, a lot of interfacing with not only the publisher, but indie dev studios. So lots going on, a lot of art making. It's kind of stressful, to be honest, because agency timelines paired with like game dev timelines are kind of psycho together, but I like it for the most part, as much as you can like a job. What is Kiki reading? Usually nothing. I got him Fever Dream by Samantha Schweblin because we were listening to the radio. Someone was describing that book and he said, that sounds like a cool book. So I got it for him for Christmas. We'll see if he ever picks it up. Your booktube niche is really interesting. What resource can I use to find good litfic recs? I have a video that is a little bit outdated, but it's called like Booktubers I Love or something. I'll link that down below. That's a lot of similar litfic people that I watch. What are your go-to sources to find the next read? One, looking at my own TBR. 2, asking my friends for recommendations. 3, perusing the library. Set loose in a bookstore. What's your process? I'm immediately going to the fiction aisle. If I'm in Pals, I'm going to the Blue Room. And I am looking at end caps first, and then I'm just going alphabetical 5 times. I am going A to Z, walking each shelf, going to the small prose and small publisher section, and just kind of vibing. And then hitting up the sales tables at the end and seeing if anything good is actually on sale. We know your astrological big 3, but what is Kiki's? Kiki, I actually don't know this off the top of my head. Is that crazy? I've done his chart before, but he is a Gemini sun and a Sagittarius moon, and I forget his rising. I think he might be a double Sagittarius rising and moon. He is childlike and fun and mischievous. When will you visit NYC and hang out with your friends? Sujay, I really want to. I haven't been to New York in like 4 years, which is crazy. The longest period of time that I haven't gone to New York since I was like, ever. Because a lot of my family's carnival fairs are in the New York area. So we spent a lot of time in there in New Jersey growing up. I think maybe this fall, Kiki's cousin bought a house upstate. She's from Brooklyn, so I think we might do a New York trip. I'll keep you posted. What changes have you noticed in your reading habits since joining BookTube? I read a lot more, and I read a lot more new releases. Tips for people who want to open a book business but have no idea where to start. I also got a lot of specific questions about like Sunny, where I bought it, how I made the shelves. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm feeling a little cagey about some Sunny's information, which isn't a place that I ever thought I would be, because we kind of had a copycat. Yeah, someone followed us on Instagram and copied the truck build 1-to-1, which doesn't feel great. I'm gonna be honest. Kiki handcrafted the shelves, came up with the design himself, and I mean, the competitor design is just 1-to-1. They just put the shell on top of a different kind of truck. I think I need to move through that a little bit, because more mobile book businesses is not a bad thing in the world, and it's not like I have a proprietary ownership over this idea. It's bookmobiles have been in pop culture for a very long time. And community, not competition. I don't know, I'm trying to gaslight myself. I'm not trying to be worked up about it. But to go back to your question, which is tips for people who want to open a book business but have no idea where to start. Is there a local community makers fair in your town? Do you have farmers markets? Do you have pop-up events? Can you put up a shelf at a local independent coffee shop with used books there? Like, what is the smallest version of your dream that you can do at this point of time? I think there's a lot of resources with the ABA, which is the American Booksellers Association, if you want to open a brick and mortar. And you have to pay them yearly fees to be a member, but it comes with a lot of interesting stuff. They have a bookseller's hand guide. They have a bookseller's handbook there that you get access to. There's a thriving community thread, which has other booksellers that you can go to for advice. And also you get your ABA membership, which means when you sign up to places like NetGalley and Edelweiss, you are considered a bookseller. And publishers want to send you books. If you're selling new books, I think you will also have to have your ABA membership to order through iPage, which is how you order bulk quantities at a discount from publishers directly. That's my advice. Start where you can. Have fun. Show us your and Kiki's Snoopy collection. We actually took down our Christmas ornaments today, so I can't show you, but we inherited a collection of stuffed Snoopy plushies and figurines from Kiki's mom when she passed away. She had an incredible collection that was seasonal, so we have a Snoopy for basically every season, but definitely the most for Christmas. And they're really special and sweet and kind of break my heart. We love Snoopy, big Snoopy family. What is your most controversial bookish opinion? Oh my god. I'm scared. I'm scared. Why can't I think of anything off the top of my head? It's probably something about YA. If we're being honest, it's probably like, or it's probably about anyone who solely reads from one genre. And that being weird, but especially adults who only read YA. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Do you limit yourself on buying, owning books, and do you have a system for choosing books to read? I have no system or guide rails in place for book buying. It's my special thing. I don't know what to tell you. Especially now that I can buy books at cost from publishers. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I would love to be a minimalist, but I'm not. My book collection is one of my favorite things in the world, and I am stupid and have too much money and discretionary income and have not yet had to put any budgetary constrictions around it. I will say it feels like I'm buying way less books since moving to Yuma because I don't have Powell's access. I only have Barnes & Noble access, which is like a little boring. What's your fave plotty lit fic book? Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The first one I thought of was In the Distance by Hernan Diaz. Really good. I would say a lot of climate fiction books too are plotty but literary. I Love You But I've Chosen Darkness, Oval by Elvia Wilk. Something New Under the Sun. Those are definitely all plot driven but literary. If there would be one thing you could change about your character, what would it be? Oh my god. I would not have depression. Is that sad? That's a sad answer. That's true though. That is true. Fave non-bookish YouTube channels video to watch. I love cooking videos. Like everyone else in like early lockdown Bon Appetit era, I have then followed Claire Saffitz and Carla Lolly Music and all of those other Bon Appetit people who left in the exodus to their own channels. I really like, what else do I like? The New York Times cooking channel. I love the New York Times cooking channel. It's mostly just food and reading soundscapes and booktube for me. Favorite pajamas ever. Maybe my cowboy print ones from Kath Kidston. I will say they're a little too small on me. I ordered a small instead of a medium, and medium is definitely the way to go when it comes to pajama sizing. How are you liking being back in Arizona? It's good. It's hard. It's thorny, but it's also beautiful and special. And that's where I'm at. Wherever you go, there you are. That is the biggest life truism that I could tell you. A book for the Susan Sontag girlies. John Berger? Roland Barthes? What do you like about Susan Sontag? Do you like the photography musings? Do you like the queerness? Do you like the exploration of camp? I need to know more and then I could give you a better description. What kind of books do you want to see less of, and what kind of books do you want to see more of? That's a big question. I saw some statistics about the percentage of people who are published being white and male, and it was still shockingly high. So of course there's that portion of my answer, which is just more books for marginalized people. But my personal answer, I guess, would be less mundane, more weirdo thinking. I'm really drawn to weirdo books this year. Like I'm just trying to have my mind bent in a particular way. Might be a dumb cue, but where does Sunny live when not in use? It lives in our driveway. We cover it in a car cover so the sun doesn't rot it, and it lives in our driveway. We don't have a garage. I would like to build a garage one day so she could live in there. What's the weirdest question or response someone said to you when they visit Sunny's? A lot of people ask for kids books, and I'm like, I don't have any, and I also have nothing to offer you. I wish I had a friend who is a parent who could tell me what is what. But since Sunny's, the truck, only sells used books, it's hard for me to go thrifting for used titles and know what's good. Might be one of my goals for 2023 actually, is to have like a small kids section so kids can have something to look at while their parents are shopping. Jalen, will you run me over with the truck? Absolutely. Me too though. Number one thing you do differently if you have to start over again. Would I call it Sunny's book truck? Knowing that a brick and mortar might happen one day? Who knows? But it's our URL, it's the Instagram. That's like the branding, advertising side of my brain that's like, like I'm already kind of glitching thinking about what I'm gonna call the store. What should I call it? Sunny's Market? The Sunny Store? Let me know. And then I would also absolutely have the construction of the trucks be able to be modular. Our shelves are screwed into the truck bed, and the engine access is through the truck bed, which we didn't know. And we've had trouble with the truck this summer and had to take it to a couple of mechanics, and we've had to like unscrew everything, put it back on. So a word to any copycats, it's actually not the best construction. Okay, you can think of something better. When do you guys plan on restocking some items? I just got a huge More Reading and cowboy shirt pickup from the screen printer. I need to update the site. I reordered some socks like 2 weeks ago, so those should be here soon. And then I just got some blank baseball hats, which are going to be dropped off to the embroiderers tomorrow. So soon. I think after the new year though. I am feeling a little lazy. I deserve a break, right? Most time-consuming thing about the trip, the shipping. You guys, I have like I'm on order 980. I think I've had 980 orders on the Sunny's web store this year. And the shipping portion of it, especially around book club time, it's wild. It takes over our lives, but worth it. That was it. That was all the questions. I hope that was okay, interesting. I'll be back with my top 10 books of the year. And I'm also gonna do a cover tier ranking before the end of the year, but I think that's it. That'll be all it for me before we're in 2023. Let me know your goals. I love you all. I really mean it. You changed my life. You changed my life. Okay, bye.